When you think about the world of direct response marketing first, you've got to talk about the benchmark, the legend himself, Gary Halbert. With Halbert, it was all about gut feel experience, just waiting for that flash of brilliance. And that's the big problem, isn't it? Relying on a lightning strike of inspiration. Well, it's just not predictable. You can't put to have a breakthrough idea on your calendar for Tuesday at 10 a.m. For most of us, that approach just leads to us staring at a blank page. There's actually a perfect metaphor for this. It's called the rooftop problem. Picture this. We're stranded on a rooftop, and we're just waiting for some miracle, some single brilliant idea to swoop in and save us. But because we're so focused on waiting for that one perfect thing, we totally miss all the real practical help that's already there. The boats and the helicopters coming from directions just weren't thinking to look. This brings us to a really fascinating question. What if we looked halfway across the world to Japan and asked who is their Gary Halbert? And more importantly, what can we learn from how they do things? Well, let me introduce you to Masanori Kanda. In Japan, this man is a marketing titan. He's got a reputation, just as massive as Halbert's has in the West. But here's the thing. His entire philosophy, his entire way of thinking is built on a completely different foundation. See, Kanda doesn't teach you to sit around and wait for inspiration to strike. He teaches you how to build it. He looks at marketing not as some mysterious art form that depends on unpredictable genius, but as an engineering problem, a problem that can be solved with repeatable, reliable frameworks. He literally gives you the blueprints. And his first big system is an absolute masterclass in how to structure a persuasive message. It's called the PASONA formula. And it is an incredibly powerful tool for writing. And you kind of copy at the very heart of Kanda's thinking. It is this simple but powerful equation he believes. The results you get are a product of two things. The words you use are important, but just as critical as the composition, psychological framework that you build your message on. If you get that structure right, the words you use become 10 times more powerful. So persona isn't just some random checklist. It's a psychological journey you take your reader on. You start with the problem. You hit that pain point head on, then you build affinity, showing them, hey, I get it. I know what you're going through. It's only then that you introduce the solution. After that, you make a very specific offer. You narrow it down with some urgency or scarcity. Finally, you call them to action. You see how each step just logically and emotionally builds on the one before it. Basically, engineered persuasion. Okay, so that handles persuasion, but what about coming up with a big idea in the first place? From a completely blank slate. For that, Kanda developed another system. This one's called future mapping. This is the ultimate creative challenge, right? Most of the time, we're taught to think step by step, just make small improvements. But that usually just gets you a slightly better version of what you already have. How do you get a real game-changing breakthrough? This is where future mapping just completely flips the script on how we normally think instead of starting from today and trying to move forward. You start by imagining a 120% happy future. A ridiculously, audaciously positive outcome. Then you work backward from that perfect future. Right now, charting out the path, this whole process forces you to break out of the to-do list trap where you just do what's easy instead. You're forced to focus only on the critical moves you need to make to achieve that amazing vision. So here we are, we've got two masters from two different parts of the world with two profoundly different ways of thinking. One is all about the lightning strike of genius, and the other is about the careful blueprints of an engineer. And when you put them side by side like this, the contrast is just wow, it's so clear. Halbert's way is all about that raw, intuitive genius that's born from years and years of experience. Kanda's way is all about structured systems that are rooted in behavioral psychology. Halbert gives you that street smart, con man wisdom about human nature. Kanda gives you the clear, repeatable frameworks of an engineer. Both are crazy effective, but they are two fundamentally different paths to get to the exact same place results. And that right there is the big takeaway from all of this. You don't have to be stuck on that rooftop anymore, just hoping that inspiration decides to show up. Kanda's work shows us that creativity and persuasion can be systematic. You don't need a miracle, you just need a better map. And these frameworks, that's your map, so now it's really over to you. You've got the gut instinct genius of Halbert in one hand and the systematic engineering of Kanda in the other. Two different toolkits, two different mindsets. The question isn't, how do I get unstuck anymore?